Hi folks, welcome to techfriends.com. So this week I would like to discuss one of the tasks that I was doing. I had a quick task of one of my clients with whom I work, and he had a scenario. So I couldn't present the same file, so I've just used another version of it, but the problem and the solution remains same. So what is it? So he has a file and he maintains these records, like say date, manager, client, track his sales progress. So this file is updated by all the sales managers. So what happens is, like, every time they meet a new client, a new deal, they enter their deal status here, and it remains on the shared server. What he wanted is to avoid the to let the users enter the information here in the next empty rows, but restrict any update or any edit in the previous entered entries. If at all there is, he will do the entries, he will do the editing, but the other people, the sales manager, they should not be allowed to change these things. So for that I had to the problem with this is, like, you can protect this for today, you can protect this and give it to these people, but tomorrow when they come back, they write another row, like say suppose they have entered this row, and then they close the file, they open it again. Though you have protected the previous block of cells, this will remain unprotected. So the objective was, every time the file gets closed, the data here should be protected. Once you close the file, the data here, the bunch of cells, should be protected, and should not allow the people to unprotect and edit the data, but at the same time it should allow the user to enter the data in the next empty cell. So how we do this? So what we do is, how can we achieve this? What you can do is, you can write a code. Always remember to protect your password. Alright, so what we do is, first of all, we write a code to protect the sheet. So I give the password as techflames active sheet dot unprotect. Okay, this is used to unprotect the sheet if it is already protected. Once you unprotect the sheet, and then you unlock the cells, and then you say range of b4 dot current region dot locked. So I say the current region b4 because current region happens to select all the non-empty cells in the same set of range. So if there is another row added, it will also include the new row as well. So I need to select anything which is in this table. So this would be the range. So that's the reason I write current region, and then I say locked is equal true. And then once I have locked these cells, I would like to protect them. So this is the way that I protect this, and I allow the filtering option. Alright, so this code will protect the sheet, and then there is another code that if I would like sometime to debug, I would use unprotect sheet, or even whenever it's required you can use it. So it's generally like unprotect password, the same password that you give, and then say the regions, the locked cells are no more locked. Now this does the trick, but the thing is, you need to run this code whenever you are closing the workbook or you are opening the workbook. So where do you write that? You write it here. So what I've done is, I have created another so let me come to that. So what I do is, so before the close of the workbook, I run this piece of code. So what it does, So screen updating is false, display alerts is false, to avoid any display alerts and to avoid any screen updates. And then I have created a new sheet called notes. I'll come to that, so forget about that for a minute. And then what I do is I call the protect sheet module. So this is run. So what it does is it protects the entire sheet with the current region selected. First it unprotects, then selects the current region, locks it, and protects the sheet. So the work is done, and then the file is saved. I'll come to this. Sheets of sales visible is equal to Excel hidden. Now what, when the file is opened by any user, okay, we are saying that sheets of sales.visible is equal to true. What happens is when a user opens the file, there are two possibilities. He might have the macros enabled or disabled. So if he has the macros disabled, the protect and unprotect will not work because we are doing through a code. So it's necessary that the user should open the file with the macros enabled. So to force that, what we do is we create a sheet. Right, we create a sheet, and the sheet is called notes. So right now it's very hidden, so I say visible. So I've created a sheet called notes. Now in the notes sheet, I just want to mention a warning that this macro will not work if macros are not enabled, and the instructions to enable the macros are given separately to all the people who use this file. So what I tend to do is when the file is opened, if the macro runs, if the macro is enabled, it will run this line of codes. What will it do? It will make the sheet's sales visible, which is my main sheet, which I want people to see, right? And then I want the note sheet to be invisible because the macro is running, because the macros are enabled. But if the macros are not enabled, then they will only see the note sheet, they will not see the sales, so that they know, okay, if they want to work with this file, they have to find out the way and enable macros. And what happens when we close the workbook? When the workbook is closed, I want to automatically bring the note sheet visible. Right before it closes, it makes the note sheet visible, and then protects the sheet, and then the sheet's sales, the sales sheet becomes hidden. So this is the way. So now let's suppose I close the file, it runs, and if you see, because my macros are enabled, you saw a little flicker. That was because the note sheet got hidden and the main sheet is back. Now if a person wants to enter here, he will not be able to, but at the same time he will be allowed to enter a new record. Control colon. Once done, he saves or he just closes. That's fine. Tomorrow he comes back, he opens up, he want to edit this, not allowed. Is he allowed to enter the new one? Yes. Right. Let me tell you what happens if he has not enabled macros. So he goes macro security, disable all macros without notification, and he closes the file. So now this user has the macros disabled and he opens the file. What does he see? He sees a blank sheet. Is there any other thing? There is nothing. Why? Because we have hidden it. So he will see that there is a warning that the macros should be enabled. So what he does is he finds a way. He asks people, or he knows, and then he clicks enable all macros. Now the next time he opens, he gets the actual content. So I hope this will help some of you folks who would want such protection to be applied on your files or at your workplace, where you would want to control who actually maintains this data and who just makes a data entry. So if you are a person who owns this sheet, then you just unprotect the sheet, you enter the password, you change whatever you want, and then you close it. That's it. If you are the owner of the sheet, you can change this, you can edit this by clicking on unprotect sheet, giving the password and making a change. But others whom you don't want to have the password will allowed to enter new rows, new data. They will not be allowed to edit the existing data. So I hope this helps. Thanks for watching, and for many such things keep visiting techflames.com. Thank you. Bye.